I want you to cry into your Hello Kitty pillow. I want you to put your headphones on. I want you to listen to some Taylor Swift. And I want you to shake it off, you bland bitch.
Playoff Palooza, collision, April 25th, 2026. Tony, Excalibur, and Nigel on commentary. We're still in Portland. This was a double header for the night of Dynamite. Both shows were filmed back to back. So I saw a little bit of spoilers, but I still dived in. We got Double or Nothing May 24th. We got Forbidden Door June 28th. So a lot is going on. We started off with the conglomeration. They're going to put up those trios championships on the line. I'm ready for that. And here comes FTR and Stokely, and they're like, we got some mean things to say to Cope and Christian. I fast forwarded it as fast as I could. I was like, nope, I'm out. Then we got to the conglomeration versus the Don Callis family, and that's Andrade, that's Archer, then Hechicero. And man, this was a fun match, dude. This collision, this is why I come to AEW for matches like this. It was a back and forth battle, but the conglomeration got the win over the Don Callis family. And next up is probably one of my favorite things. I don't know why. As much as I went through that tyranny of the Mox cult when Mox was champion, he had the championship in the briefcase, and then we celebrated when Hangman brought it out. This version of the Mox cult I am enjoying because it's just interesting and weird and just, I don't know why I like it so much, because you remember they took Will Ospreay on Dynamite. They picked him up after he lost and after he got beat down. Here comes the Mox cult. They picked him up and they took him. So we got to see what happened. And there's the Mox cult. Mox is in his chair. They put Will in the chair, and Marina puts a towel on his neck. Of course, Yuta threw water in his face, like, wake up, and like snaps his neck and back to place so he can feel it in his arms again. And Mox is like, yeah, she's good at that, isn't she? And then he goes, yeah, well, what do you want to be? What are you trying to do besides break my neck? And he goes into this methodical, like, our bodies, our flesh, it all breaks. But if you can get in here in your mind, you cannot be stopped. So what do you want, Will? What do you want? And the Mox call goes away, and Moxley puts his chair down, and he lays down on the floor with the chair in front of him, saying, make your choice. Do you want to be victorious? What do you want to do? Will grabs the chair, and then he chases off the camera crew. And I was like, man, that was out of a movie scene. I like it. I like it a lot. Where are we going to go? Where do we go next? We go to the Mox cult versus, Mox cult with the Dogs versus Bucks and the Rascals. Oh my gosh, come on, man. This is on TV. Oh, Mox on commentary, so Will made his choice to not take out Jon Moxley. I love Moxley on commentary, and we have this badass battle between Mox Cult Dogs versus Bucks and Rascals. This is my match of the night, son. And it was a battle indeed. I didn't care who won, because you know who wins with this sort of match? We do as the fans. But Mox Cult and the Dogs get the win over the Bucks and the Rascals, and it ain't done yet. It ain't over. And I'm hoping the Dogs have their eyes set to go after FTR and dethrone them as tag team champions. And let's be done with Cope and Christian. Please, please. Lexi's with Chris, Sheeta, Harley, and Mina. Thought this was a little silly. Then we go to Chris Statlander versus Squash Gang. This was funny to me because Brina? I don't know. I didn't really care to get her name, but she kind of looked like Carmella. Yeah, she noticed too, because, she had the leopard thing and the shoes. I don't know. It was just interesting to me, but there was a little tweet about it if you should look it up. But of course, Chris Statlander won. Sheeta's out there, and Sheeta's like, huh? And Chris is like, get away from me. He walks up the ramp. We get Lexi with Cross and Bane. They said, yeah, we heard Chris and Sheeta. They want our tag team championships, but all these tag teams coming together, blah, 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 blah. They ain't shit against us. And I'm like, well, you two are dominant. Roosh versus Squash Gang. My favorite thing about this match was the fact that he plays with his food. And this one plays with his food, and then he gets the win. He cuts a promo afterwards, and he tells us, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Don't fuck with Roosh. We get a Takeshita and Okada package. I'm so excited, y'all, for this match. Double or Nothing, May 24th. And the Big Apple, nothing makes me more excited than finally Takeshita versus Okada. I don't care if it's for a title. I just want to see these two tear it up. Then at Forbidden Door, what do we get after that? Another fun match, Tekla and Sky versus Alex Wenza and Persephine. I was rooting for Tekla and Sky because I love my Triangle of Madness. I love my Sisters of Sin. And of course, here comes Julia with the black mist to Persephine's face. That's how Tekla and Sky gets the win. And I like when they get their hands raised, Tekla like, that's how we do it. MJF and Kevin Knight package, they have a big match this Wednesday, which I'm very excited about for the TNT Championship. National Championship on the line, Jack versus El Clone. Oh, man, El Clone's fucking awesome, dude. Jack Perry, though, does get the win. This was a fun match. And then we go into Willow, the comeback killer. I like that. I don't know why. I really, I was like, that's a cool little moniker there. The comeback killer. She goes, I don't care who you are, Sheeta, Eddie Cavill. I don't care who you are. Y'all get got by the comeback killer. That has to be on the t-shirt. Then we get the Ops. Joe and Hook are back. Well, Joe's back, and they're walking, and Anthony's like, I'm not playing no more. Am I in the Ops or not? Hook's like, what are you saying? But watch out, you say it. I'm like, all right, Hook, come down. My favorite thing about this is Hook goes, there's no vacancy in the Ops. And then Joe's like, yeah, there's no vacancy. So welcome to the team. Hook's like, oh, well, I guess you passed the test. And I'm like, what test? Joe? You ain't going to talk back to Joe, Hook. Speak and spell. Oh, man. The Demand and Jericho, I didn't care. The only thing that I found interesting about this match was Ricochet pinning Jericho again. Is Jericho just back to lose to Ricochet over and over again? Is that the thing? Mm-hmm. Is he going to be meta again when we see him with these two collide? I don't know. But the Hurt Syndicate looked pissed. They're like, what? We lost? Oh. What are you talking about? We lost! Yeah. I give this a Collision 4 out of 5. April 25th, 2026. Playoff Palooza, as it's called. Tony Excalibur and Nigel on commentary in Portland. And then match of the night goes to Mox Cult Dogs versus Bucks and Rascals. And moment of the night goes to that Mox Will Ospreay in your head scene. Yeah, what's next? Dynamite. I'm excited. So, drop those comments below, hit that like, hit that subscribe, share it with your grandma, share the bum down at Walmart. And I'm KMB, the Sexy Ninja, and remember that the New World Podcast is for life.
We're happy I'm back, man. That's right. What you been up to since the beginning?
Oh, man, I've been holding it down.
¿Tú qué has hecho?
Yeah, I've been holding it down, bro. I'm recruiting, I'm getting...
Estoy reclutando gente.